This is Biker Dad, brought to you by Biker Justice USA and the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers.
Have you ever sat at your job and thought, what if I just got up and left? Tell that horrible boss to take this job and shove it. Have you ever wanted to just walk out? What about burnout? Well, that's exactly what I did, but I didn't just quit. I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell your story.
Daytona Beach, Florida, where you can actually drive onto the beach. Rick Fairless, a legend of his own, introduced me to Richard Rollins. Mayfield, Kentucky. Southeast Missouri. Beautiful city of Knoxville, Tennessee. Gulf Coast of Mississippi. The Florida coast and the Tampa Bay area. Orange County Choppers, Roadhouse and Museum. Talking to Paul Tuttle Sr. himself.
But make no mistake, this is not a show about motorcycles or even about me. Instead, I travel across the country to meet the people who use their passion for motorcycles to make their communities stronger, safer, and better. This is Biker Dad.
On the road in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I finally got to run into some real heroes of mine. They're called Hogs for Heroes, and so far to date, they put 38 of our veteran heroes back on the roads, and they're doing it all here in the state of Wisconsin. And we got the opportunity to see it in action right here at the 120th Harley celebration at Milwaukee Harley-Davidson, in the heart of all of it. It's incredible.
I'm Kevin Thompson, president of Hogs for Heroes. We're a local Wisconsin nonprofit. My family and I started about 6 years ago, and we started with a pretty simple mission. We wanted to raise money to buy Harley-Davidsons for injured veterans. We started it from scratch, not knowing how far we'd get. Our original goal was to do, one bike a year, one bike at a time, one hero at a time. And now 6 years later, we were able to just put our 38th injured Wisconsin veteran back on the road. Yeah, obviously, anybody who rides gets it. And to be here at the 120th rally, hometown rally with Harley-Davidson, you can just feel the brotherhood, the camaraderie, the support. And that's what we do. Some people look at it and say, well, a motorcycle, it's a toy or it's an expensive toy. And we tell them, no, this is a tool. This is designed to help an injured veteran, get them back in the community, help with their healing, get them back with the brotherhood, get them back on the road. And that's what we do, and you couldn't have a better feeling.
My name's Josh Hammeister from Sun Prairie, down here in Milwaukee today. I got gifted a 2021 Street Glide Special today from Hogs for Heroes. Kevin and Audra and the advisory board selected me as one of the veterans to be gifted, and we came down here today on Harley's 120th anniversary to do the ceremony. I have had two motorcycles in my life. One was a Crop Rocket and one was a Chopper, and neither were a Harley. And I had to sell both of them due to financial situations. The second one was, I lost it in my divorce, and I was in the CVMA, Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, and I let them know, hey, I don't have a bike anymore. I probably can't be in the club. And I was communicating with the president of our chapter and let him know. And he's like, well, hey, have you heard of Hogs for Heroes? I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, have you thought about putting in for it? And I'm like, well, I'm not a Purple Heart recipient. I was, even myself, knowing about them, I was ignorant. I thought you had to have a physical injury, and it's not just physical injuries, it's also internal injuries. And I filled out the application and got selected. It's awesome.
Because a lot of the motorcycling community is about being together. You see different motorcycle groups, and they're not all MCs. Some are, that's fine. Others just get together and ride. But usually anybody you talk to when they ride together. They ride as a group. It's a common interest. And especially when you bring veterans together, they can connect. Because there's not many people that understand what they've been through and what they've endured. So when you can talk to somebody who gets it, because I'm a civilian, my wife's a civilian, we try to never use the word we understand, because we don't. But they're veteran brothers and sisters, they do understand. They've walked that mile, they've been in those shoes, And to be able to talk to somebody who doesn't judge you, who truly does understand, is huge.
And when these veterans have come home, transitioned, struggled to fit in, struggled to find themselves, finding that peace is really important. And on that rough road, it's sometimes very hard. It's sometimes that road that's filled with loneliness, pain, despair. And then when you don't have that bike, that rough road gets a little harder. And that is where we come in.
Audra asked me that night, she says, if you could have any bike, what would be your dream bike? I said a Street Glide Special, all blacked out, no chrome. Went on the line the next day, found it, came down, test drove it, and we got it.
We keep to Wisconsin. It's where my wife and I and our family were born and raised. And Hogs for Heroes is a pretty small venture. There's basically two of us that do it. And we do everything we can to even cover Wisconsin. We would love to help every veteran nationwide, but we're just not equipped to do that at this time. You know, we don't know where we'll take this going forward, but one of the other things that's extremely important to us, we could grow this more, but it's not a business. We're not trying to grow a big organization or grow a business, because we literally donate every dollar we receive to the veterans. So we don't have offices, we don't have salaries, we don't pay people. Even our little things like our tent or, you know, a pin, we buy those, we pay for them. So anybody who makes a donation, it goes right to the vets.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
Men in this country in general, if you ask for help, you're weak. You're not. When you know you need help and you still ask, that's when you're truly strong. So it was emotional. I got up, I followed Kevin and Audra on stage trying to speak, and I was fine till I looked at my mom and saw her losing it, so then I started to cry, but it's been great. And we were able to keep it from my son until today, so he got surprised when we walked up to the bike and it said sold and had my name on it, and he just lost it, so he was excited too.
Well, it's great to see you, man. It was great today. We got to meet Biker Dad and to be on this podcast today. It's because we love what you do, and everybody who follows you, and you know, and everybody who probably listens to this knows that brotherhood, you know, that we talked about. It's not just Hogs for Heroes. We're one group that does that, and not the only one. If you want to help, we've got a website, www.hogsforheroeswi.org. Go out to the website, check us out. We get it. We want you to be very comfortable if you want to support us. You go out there, you can learn about us. We do have a donate button on the website. You can donate through the website. You can follow us on Facebook and come out to the events and hang out with us. That's all we want. Think it's fun?
Hogs for Heroes, putting bikers, heroes, all of that back onto, and they're doing it one motorcycle and one hero veteran at a time, and you can help get them back onto as well.
In Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the 120th anniversary of Harley-Davidson's big birthday bash, and I was pleasantly surprised at just how nice of a little city this is. Well, at least in the middle of the summer when it's 80 degrees and not 80 below. One of the really cool things I found running through the heart of Milwaukee was the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is open to the public 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, although I'm sure it's much more pleasant to walk down this thing in July than it is in January. It opened in 1993 as a way to allow public access to the river there in downtown Milwaukee, and now it has been extended 3.1 miles along both sides of the Milwaukee River. And strolling along, I ran into something really cool, and if you're a child from the 70s or 80s,
It was a big part of your childhood, and it is also one of the world's most iconic, quote unquote, bikers. So for us 80s kids, the Fonz here was a bigger than life character, but this is an actual life-size bronze statue of Henry Winkler, the star who played the Fonz, and it's actually pretty short, pretty little guy. So, hey, I feel a little bit cooler already. The Fonz and I are gonna go grab a beer over on Water Street. We'll check in with you later. Hey, where's Potsy? Ralph Mouth? Richie? I'd like to introduce you to my new friends at All Octane Camping. New way to enjoy motorcycle rallies, mudding events, Jeep events, and a whole lot more. At the camps, they have large, spacious tents, big beds, a fire pit, a huge inflatable party house with air conditioning, hot tub, a whole lot more. The information about All Octane Camping, including their upcoming events at alloctanecamping.com. Hope to see you on the road there at some of their events. Again, alloctanecamping.com. Thousands of innocent bikers are injured and even killed on our streets and highways in the United States every year. And far too often, we don't get the justice we deserve, even if we did absolutely nothing wrong. So how do you find the help you need? People who are ready to go to the mat and get justice for you? Just go to bikerjusticeusa.com to find a list of lawyers across the United States who are trusted by me, Biker Dad. Hi there, this is Chris Best, the Biker Dad. I'm just here to let you know that myself and the hundreds of thousands of people who follow us on social media and watch the TV show are here to help. Do you need help with something? Give me a call. That's my number right there, 251-402-6392. Especially if you need legal help, I have an army of lawyers across the country who can help you with injuries after motorcycle crashes especially, but other stuff like crime and everything else too. So give me a call, 251-402-6392. Biker Dad is brought to you in part by the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Why do I trust NAML? Because they work relentlessly to make our roads safer for everyone. They bring awareness to the motorcycle community all across the USA. They fight for justice for bikers too. If you're an attorney who's interested in joining the fight and the cause, go to naml.org for more information. Our Back on Two stories are brought to you by Biker Justice USA and the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. A beautiful day in South Alabama to get out on our bikes and help kick some cancer's butt.
My name's Al Tauber. My wife, Amy Tauber. This is the group, the motorcycle group, the Punishers. One of the members of the group is one of our communications officers, Shelby Holt. Her husband is a former corrections officer with the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office, Logan Holt. Whenever they learned that Tammy had been diagnosed with cancer, the motorcycle club wanted to hold a benefit for her and do this ride today. So we agreed, and they've been working on this for months, Logan and Shelby and the Punishers group. And we're overwhelmed and humbled at the same time, and appreciate what they've done for us and the turnout in the community and everybody and all the riders that are here today to support her battle and this journey with breast cancer. So she was diagnosed November the 4th with breast cancer, and she underwent 16 rounds of chemo treatment. She did that weekly for 16 weeks. Just yesterday she had a procedure to remove the area where the tumor was at. The chemo treatments, doctors considered it a complete success. There's no more signs of the tumor there. I credit that to our community and the prayers that we have gotten, or she has gotten, for that. So, but from here, there will be some tests done regarding the procedure yesterday, and depending on that test will determine the amount of radiation treatments that she will receive here in the near future. We're lifelong residents of the community. We both have worked in public service almost our whole entire adult life. We're used to doing these benefits ourselves and hosting them for others. We've never had an issue where we needed anything. It's really touched our lives, our family. It gives us a whole new appreciation for our community, our town. These people, you all who have turned out today to support us, it gives you a different view of everybody, and it makes you feel extra humble. A lot of people, you know, historically, when you hear of a motorcycle club, they think about the outlaw motorcycle clubs from the 60s and 70s and early 80s. And that's not the case today. Most of these clubs, you know, they represent, they go out and do something great in their communities. And this is a project today is an example of what the Punisher's doing. It's a project for their club, something that they can put over the books that they've done for a community or a member of the community. And that's just an example of what a lot of these groups do today, in today's times.
Chief Talbert and Tammy, his wife, led us all on this beautiful ride in this pink cop car. We're going to keep you updated on her fight against breast cancer right here on the Biker Dad blog. For the Biker Dad blog in Bay Minette, Alabama, this is Chris Best. This is Biker Dad, brought to you by the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Biker Dad road trip.
Dale Prince from Brantford, Ontario, Canada. We came down here, we had a conference that we attended and decided to extend our stay by 3 days. I've ridden out of here once before. I brought a couple buddies with me. We rented a 3 Ultra Classic Road Glide and headed out to San Diego. We made San Diego on our first day, right to Ocean City. And then made our way back yesterday through California. A lot of twisty roads, fantastic driving. Some of the best biker roads I've ever been on. It was absolutely beautiful. Stayed in Laughlin, Nevada last night, nice and cheap there. And then headed out this morning, made Hoover Dam, and then in through Valley of Fire. If you're going to Valley of Fire, make sure you take the North Shore Road. It is absolutely beautiful and twisty and arguably one of the best roads I've ever been on. And then back through Vegas, down the strip, closed it out. It's my third time. It's my first time going that far down into California, which I'd highly recommend. If you can fit 3 days in here, if you can fit 5 days in, great, but 3 days, it's fantastic. Very easy. Eagle Rider made it, it was very simple. We did it all online, checked in online. There's about a 6-minute video that you gotta watch, upload your driver's license. You get here, the bikes are ready, very, very accommodating staff. You know, everything you could possibly need. I brought my own gear, but they had everything here for us had we needed it. Las Vegas, love it here, love it. If I could move here, I would. There's a lot of places I'd like to live, and again, even coming through Arizona was absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't say more about the area, and I couldn't say anything better about Eagle Rider and their experience. They're fantastic.
Backpacks are on the road in Pensacola, Florida, where motorcycle enthusiasts are making sure that kids get off to school with a great start and without missing a gear by loading these backpacks up with everything they need before school starts.
I'm Amanda Welch with ABATE Florida Gulf Coast Chapter. I'm the membership chair. ABATE is the American Bikers Aimed Towards Education. We are a safety and education organization. We are hosting the backpack run. It's a scavenger hunt. We are not raising money or funds. We're raising school supplies for United Way of West Florida, who will be donating them to the children in need in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties.
With ABATE, live with Biker Dad here at Harley Davidson. We're doing the ABATE backpack run, and it just brings tears to your eyes to see the awesome support our community has for our children in our area. So if you're not here, you're missing out. Get on down to Harley Davidson.
You know, to me, it's important that all of the kids have a good start. We want the kids involved, we want them educated, and we want them to understand that we as a community want those things for them. That it's important and that we stand behind them. They deal with enough, you know, there's bullying at school, there's, you know, stuff going on at home. We want them to be fully prepared for the education that they're trying to get. And we want them to have all of the tools they need to do that.
It really warms your heart to know that our community cares for our children as much as they do. I mean, they're coming out in droves. They've donated supplies. They've been donating for weeks on end, and it's for our children and the future of our children. And we can't tell you how much we appreciate you.
They see that we're helping them then they'll understand that we aren't just big bad bikers, scary people in the community. We are people who appreciate and want to take care of our community.
So why don't you sit here and we take that at the same time? I am filling bags with donated supplies. We had empty bags, and we've had so much of a donation that we're going to fill these bags and get some needy kids some stuff as soon as we can.
Bikers are always wanting to help the community, and they will always help a child. Well, we attend a lot of events. I know we were at the fairgrounds for the flea market. We just want everybody to be aware that we are out there, that the safety and awareness of drivers, not just motorcyclists, is important to all of us. Because we don't want our insurance to go up. We don't want to see another person, laid up because of an accident. It all comes back to just being aware, and that's whether it's aware of other cars, aware of other motorcycles, just be aware of your surroundings.
They're representing us, and we're glad to be able to give back to the community. And it's all about being safe on your motorcycle and promoting safety and promoting our education for our young people.
It feels very, very good, whether we have a large turnout or a small turnout, which, look around, looks like it's going pretty good. It's going to be a pretty decent turnout. We've already won because we're doing exactly what we set out to do.
Yeah, we're here in Pensacola where they're stuffing backpacks. Bikers are doing the same thing across the country. So check out what's going on in your area and see if you could roll out to help kids get back to school without missing a gear too.
My name is Sylvain Yell, originally from Canada, and I enjoy doing these organized rides, and this is one of the best ones. So I enjoy riding motorcycles. I've been doing it since I was 16 years old. I just turned 58, so that's a long time. I just enjoy these kind of organized rides. You get to meet other riders, you get to see other bikes, it's wonderful. Yeah, it's every kind of bike, and we're all in this together. This is for a good cause. Honestly, nobody should care what you ride, if you have a moped, it should be good, The reason why I picked this Sportster today is because a friend of mine did the airbrushing on it, and it's really a tribute to the fact that I've lived in the United States. I'm originally from Canada. I am a dual citizen, and this bike reflects that. It's 25 years old today, or this year I should say, so I guess it would be considered a classic. It's a Sportster S, which was an unusual model because it has 2 spark plugs per cylinder. So there's one in the traditional Harley spot, and then there's one on top of the head. So it's a single fire ignition. It was, like I said, it's an oddball, but they made it for a few years. It was rather expensive at the time. Most people wouldn't pay that kind of money for a Sportster. So, I kind of felt sorry for it. It was kind of like the closest to a sport bike that Harley made at that time. So this is a friend of mine, Mike Armstrong. He runs a custom paint shop called Arkham Asylum Customs out of Savannah, and he did the work. Yeah, exactly. Although this has nothing to do with Batman, but if you look at the front spoiler, that's kind of his trademark. The fact that it kind of contradicts everything Harley, it's reliable, it's never dropped a drop of oil anywhere, and for a Harley, actually pretty quick. And it handles well. Notice that they're not Dunlops on there. I've actually got Bridgestone battle axes. So it actually does well around, when I wear leathers, I can go on Tail the Dragon and have a great time. No, I really enjoyed this ride. This is great stuff. I feel a little underdressed compared to some of these other gentlemen and ladies, but it's cool. It's really cool. It's very unique.
That's it for this week's episode of the Biker Dad TV show from Milwaukee, the birthplace of Harley Davidson, and let's be honest, the birthplace of the American biker culture. And until next week, that's it from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the home of Harley Davidson. Please look twice for motorcycles.